Hey guys, what's going on? Braden here with Spring Fever. EP's still out and Dad's out. We're still trying to practice our social distancing this week, so again, it's just me. So this week though, we're going to kind of kick it up a notch and we're going to take it to that next step. So far in these tip scenarios, we've been kind of talking about before the hunt and how to become successful scouting, time of day to hunt, things like that. Now we're going to actually break it into vocalizations of a turkey, and I want to kind of specialize on each one each week as we go through the season here. And a lot of those southern seasons are starting up. We've still got a few weeks here, unfortunately, but it'll be here before you know it. So tonight, for the first one, I picked my favorite one to do, and that's the Fly Down Cackle. I love the Fly Down Cackle. I've killed a ton of birds, I believe, because of it, and I know I've called in several birds for Dad over the past few years. And I know that Fly Down Cackle has been a crucial part in our success. So this is my favorite one, and it's one that you can do with any call. You can do it with pot call, you can do it with mouth call, you can do it with a box call, okay? You just got to do some practicing. And the Fly Down Cackle is what it sounds like when a turkey's coming out of the tree, they're leaving the roost, and they're flying down and pitching down for the day to start off their day. Now, that time is crucial. It's very important that you do your homework and you know what time you've scouted and you know what time generally these birds are going to fly down out of the roost. Now, there are some exceptions to this, but generally, if the conditions are the same, they're typically going to fly out of the tree around the same time, and that is very vital. If you do a Fly Down Cackle too early, it's not going to be effective because they're just going to sit up in the tree and he's going to wait on kind of his other hens and possibly himself just to feel comfortable of pitching down in his normal time, what he's comfortable with. So don't do it too early. If you do it too late, I'm not going to say it doesn't help because it lets him know, hey, you flew down and you're still there. But I want to do it before he flies down out of the tree because it gives him something to fly down to. It also lets him know, hey, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm landed. No, there's no predators around, and he feels more comfortable into flying down into my setup. If you do it too late, like I said, it's a lost cause because he might have pitched down the other way, he may have flew down to another hen. So I want to be one of the first ones that fly down, and then I want to try to coax him to fly into my setup. That's the whole point of it, okay? Now, the Fly Down Cackle, what is it? It's kind of a series. It's kind of a chain of events. I like to start with some soft calling, some yelps. Remember, these turkeys are just waking up. They're not like wide awake. Kind of like us. When you wake up in the morning, you hear your alarm go off, you're kind of like, oh, you're kind of sluggish. So I kind of start off with some short tree yelps. And they're only like 3 notes, 4 notes at top. I want to keep them short and I want to keep them soft. Call that I use a lot on that is my cell call because I can cup that cell call and hold the back of it to where it makes that call sound softer. Or I'm going to use a ceramic call or a slate call that just dip generally a duller, softer sound. And I'm going to try to cup the back of those to create a few like 3-note yelp series. Okay, 3-4 notes, and I want to keep them short and I want to keep them soft. As it wake up, I'm going to get a little bit louder, but I'm still going to be very soft, and I'm only going to get loud when I kind of bring into my cuts to create the cackle to fly out of the tree. That's where I'm going to kind of raise the tone, raise the pitch of my calling, okay? Now, and that is going to be set on the time that I know from when they're going to fly out of the tree, so I know that it's at the proper time. Now, like I said, you can do it on any call. We showed last week how easy it is to cut on the ceramic call, okay? You can do it that way. You can do it with a box. Okay? You can do it on any call. My favorite one to use is my mouth call. And the reason why I like to fly down with my mouth call is because one thing, it gives me the use of my hands. And what I like to do typically with my hands is I like to take my hat, I like to kind of beat it on my side of my leg. If the scenario permits, If I'm really close to a gobbler, or if I know there's other trees real close and it's early in the season and there's not a lot of foliage on and I know that he can see me, then I'm not going to use that technique and create that movement to where they can just see me over there flopping my hat against my leg. That wouldn't be too smart. So you got to kind of be, cautious on that, but typically I'm set up in the right spot. I've got a lot of background set up behind me that allows me to do that, and of course I make sure the coast is kind of clear before I make that judgment call. So what else it allows me to do is once I fly down, I can then kind of scratch in those leaves to tell him, hey, I'm feeding, I'm kind of purring, everything's okay, and add some more realism to it by scratching in the leaves, and I don't have my hands tied up with holding the box call, or I've got, my pot, my striker in my hand, and you can still do that, but like I said, it kind of eliminates the use of my hat, and I think that adds a lot of realism to it. So let's kind of run through this demonstration here on how I do this. The second biggest tip I want to give you about the fly down cackle is you don't want it very long. Okay, you want it short, you want it concise, because you don't want him to think that you flew to another zip code. You want him to think you flew straight down, you're there, you're close, pitch down here to me. So if you just cackle and cackle and cackle and cackle and you get way out there, then he may be like, I'm not going to waste my energy to fly all the way over there when I've got, a hen right here. So you want to keep that cackle short, concise, to the point. Get it down out of the tree, and then once you get on the ground, I kind of picture the hen as she's kind of like on point, like a bird dog. And I've seen this time and time again where she flies down, and once she lands, she pops that head up, and she's just scanning, she's just looking, and she's trying to figure out what she just flew into. Is it clear? Is it safe? Do you feel comfortable? And she does that for a few seconds. Okay, she's got that head up, she's looking, and then she lets out a few more of those soft yelps. 3-note, maybe 4-note. And then she may go into a purr, a couple clucks, and then she's starting to scratch around in the leaves and do her daily business. So that's what I try to mimic in this whole scenario. So when I said it's a sequence of events, it starts with the short 3-4 tree yelps, goes into the cuts, a little bit higher pitch, fly down, I use my hat, scratching the leaves a little bit after I've gone on point, and kind of begin those feeding calls. So here we go. Let me throw this mouth call in here, and I'll show you kind of the sequence that I go through. This is a blue V-cut double reed. This is the call that I typically use for a fly down. That's my fly down. Okay. Now let's do it again, and let's add the use of our hat, and then we're going to go on point, check the coast is clear. We're going to go through the whole sequence this time. Now that's the whole sequence that I do, typically on my fly down cackle. So fly down, use my hat, make it sound like some wings flapping, and then in that process, after I land, after I kind of go on point, I'm going to start soft calling, scratching the leaves a little bit, and let him know, hey, I'll flow down here, this is where you need to fly down. And then hopefully you can smack him up against the side of the head. Okay? So that's the whole point of it. Don't underestimate it. It's been crucial in taking some of these birds down around here. It's definitely something that will help. Just keep it. It's not going to happen every time, but keep it in your bag of tricks. You never know. It may be the difference between you punching a tag and not punching a tag. So hopefully this helps you out. Practice it. It takes practice. It takes a little bit of time. Get out there. Do your homework. Find out when they're flying down so you know what time to do it. Okay? Because that's a huge part of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this week. Stay tuned for next week. And remember, put your next long beard on speed dial with a Spring Fever custom call. See you guys.